Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. I am Anne and I'm one half of the Sussex Handmade Soap Company along with my good friend and business partner Wayne. And today we are going to be showing you how we make our soap dough. I'm a member of quite a lot of online soap forums and one question I see on a fairly regular basis is how to make soap dough. People are asking if they can use their regular recipe, how to keep it pliable and how to colour it and things like that. So I thought we would do a very quick video today showing you how we make our soap dough, because I actually find soap dough pretty easy to make. It is very similar to how we make our regular soaps. We don't change our recipe stays the same for our regular soap and our soap dough, and it is generally easier to do than people sometimes think. So I thought today we would show you how we make our soap dough, and then on Friday we're not going to do a limited edition soap this Friday. We are actually going to take the soap dough that we are making today and we are going to show you us creating a few little decorations that you can use on top of your soaps. So let's jump in and show you just how easy it is to make soap dough. So, soap dough. I have seen so many posts where people are asking how to make soap dough and if it has to be different to your regular recipe, and a lot of the posts I see seem to make it perhaps a little bit more involved than we make it. We use exactly the same recipe for our soap dough as we do for all of our regular soaps. I've seen a lot of places where people are saying to use different special soap dough recipes. We've never felt a need for that. We have never needed to do that. And indeed, if you're in the UK or the EU and you want to get your soaps assessed to sell, if you are using a different recipe for soap dough than you are for your regular soap, it's going to make it a lot harder to get through an assessment with two different recipes. So we basically use exactly the same recipe as we do for our regular soaps. So this is all of our solid and liquid oils melted down and combined together. And we have got our cooled lye water here. We are working at about 115 degrees Fahrenheit today. I am sieving my lye water today. I don't generally do this, but I did spot a couple of little pieces of what appeared to be undissolved lye in the bottom of this jug just now. So I'm sieving just to be on the safe side, because this will obviously catch any of these undissolved lumps. There's only one or two. Nothing to be too concerned about, but I just don't want them getting into the mix. So now we have got what essentially is our standard soap mix, and we begin exactly the same way as we do when we're making soap. We get our stick blender. We are going to pulse and stir with our stick blender, and today we want a thick trace. So I'm going to just pulse and stir this until we achieve a nice, fairly thick trace. So as you can see, we are now at a really nice thick trace. And if you did want to add colour, you certainly could add colour now and combine it. We prefer to leave our soap dough white. It is a blank canvas. We prefer to colour it on demand, and we will be showing you how we colour it in our next video. I just find it easier doing it this way. And now it is very simply a case of just decanting this batter into an airtight container. Obviously, if we were making regular soap, I would now be pouring this into the mould, leaving it exposed to the air so that it can saponify and harden, and we can turn it out and have a lovely hard bar of soap. However, with soap dough, you do not want it to harden. We want it to saponify, and it will saponify whether or not air is getting to it. Within 3 days, it will be pretty much 100% saponified and safe to touch and use. But by excluding the air, we are ensuring that it does not harden up. And that is the one thing we do not want this to do, is harden up. So you will need an airtight container, and that can either be a small little pot so that you can seal with an airtight seal, or, you know, anything, as long as the air is not going to be getting in. And we choose to use just these simple zip seal bags. We find them to be the best for us to use. So I'm going to decant this soap batter into this bag now. sometimes something of a messy job, but we shall get there. And once we have decanted it all into the bag, we tend to lay it flat, smooth it out a little, just to kind of fill the bag. And then what I do is I press down and I try and just push out as much air as possible. And then I seal using the zip seal toggle here, again pressing the air out as I seal, because the one thing is, like I say, you don't want air getting to this because that will harden it. And honestly, that is pretty much all that we do to make our soap dough. We now leave this for at least 3 days so it can fully saponify. Quite often we leave it for, you know, a week or more before we actually use it. It is fine to be left for use whenever you want it. But yeah, we just leave it in the bag like this, air sealed out. We don't open the bag or anything until we're ready to use it. We just, yeah, leave it like this, exclude all of the air, and that will stop it from hardening up, and we'll still leave it in a pliable condition when we take it out. It will have saponified, it will be safe to touch, we'll be able to play with it, you know, roll it around. It won't pose any danger to our skin, but it also will not be hard and can be formed into shapes. So yeah, I said it was easy. It's easy. It really is. And I say it's our regular recipe, nothing's changed. And I can't say, you know, if everyone's regular recipes will work for soap dough, but all I can say is that our recipe, which we do publish in our videos in the description, does work well for soap dough. And now I shall show you some soap dough that we made about a month ago. So here is some soap dough that we made about 4 weeks ago. We haven't done anything with it. We literally made it, put it to one side, forgot about it, and now we are bringing it out to take it out of the bag, have a little play with it, and show you how it works. So first things first, we need to get it out of the bag, which is sometimes a little easier said than done. And obviously because it was made 4 weeks ago, it has fully saponified. I don't need to be wearing gloves. This is perfectly safe to touch and play with now. So let's get it out the bag. So here it is out of the bag, and as you can see at the minute it is very kind of stiff. It's not wanting to do a lot or mould a lot, and at this stage you might think, oh god, it's hardened too much, I've got to chuck it away. No, you haven't. Our soap dough always comes out really firm, and what I tend to do is just break off a portion, because obviously we don't want to use all of this, so I break off the portion that I want to use. I get rid of the leftovers, put them back in the bag, seal them up again. And then we just need to work this, kind of bring it back to life a little bit by just moulding and playing with it. And it does take time, and at first it is stiff, but you just want to keep kind of playing with it, like almost like you're kneading dough is the way I would describe it, and just get some warmth into it. The warmth from your body, I find, really helps to soften it up. And you're just going to work it and play with it and knead it. And as you do that, it will gradually start to soften up and become more pliable. So I've been working this for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, it is now a lot more mouldable, a lot more pliable than that initial kind of hard lump that we took out of the bag. And it is just the combination of the warmth from your body and the playing with it and the moulding it that actually contributes to it coming back to life and becoming more mouldable. And this is kind of the consistency that we like to use when we are extruding decorations or when we are moulding decorations and things by hand. This is the consistency we are going for. So that is our finished soap dough. And I'll just show you by just taking a small portion off of this bigger batch. That the consistency you are looking for is one that can be kind of easily moulded, easily balled into a shape. And you don't want it sticky, you don't want any residue coming off on your hands, or, you know, you want to be able to roll it flat on a chopping board or a surface, and you don't want it to be leaving sticky residue on your surface. You want it to be a kind of clean roll with no kind of sticky, wet bits coming off it at all, because this means that when you extrude, you are going to get nicer, cleaner shapes. When you are working it to perhaps mould flowers by hand, you're going to get cleaner, nicer looking flowers. So you are going for, yeah, just nice, non-sticky consistency there. And that, to me, is perfect. This is going to work perfectly in our extruder. And it's going to work really well for moulding flowers as well. So that is today's video on how to create basic soap dough. We are going to continue on this subject next week, and next week we are going to be covering colouring the soap dough and also creating just some little decorations that you can use on the top of your soap. We're going to cover things like soap dough sprinkles, soap dough flowers, actual embeds that you can put inside your soap. So we're going to cover a number of different ways that you can use soap dough to spice up your soaps. We may not do it all in one video, it may be over a couple of videos, but it will all be covered at one point or another. So thank you for watching today's video. Tune in next week for colouring soap dough and making soap dough sprinkles.